Let's get it. As one Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork you will not get anywhere else. Solid day. Woke up a little later than usual, so cut it from 10 to 8 miles, but got some abs in, and it was a good solid run considering the abs, and got a little bit of weight in too, so it's always good to get that total body work in, and it felt great. So as far as today's Move Swiftly thought, let me get into this Bill Belichick situation. All right, again, the the story of him and his Bill Belichick, considered by many, including myself, as the greatest football coach of all time, apparently has a new book out called A Football Life, and right now he's currently the head coach for the University of North Carolina Tar Heels, the football program. And the story that has made news, the story that has surfaced and made its way around the internet, has been an interview that he did for CBS, obviously promoting his book. I believe it's titled The Football Life, which I do plan on reading at some point, given that read everything for the most part. Have read pretty much everything out there about him. Read The Education of a Coach, and read the long 400-page biography titled Belichick. And again, all respect to him as a coach, which is why this story and the reason he's making news. It's really a sad day, guys. It's a sad day in football. And now the reason he's made news is because he, as a 71-year-old man, has been running around with his 24-year-old girlfriend. All right, and it's look, when I first heard about it, it hit some triggers. I'm not gonna lie, because I've been kind of in a situation where I've been pursuing a 24-year-old girl, and she ends up with some 60-year-old guy who was her boss at one point, and all that kind of stuff. So and then on the other hand, I look at it and say, as I'm getting older, okay, look, if I can keep myself in shape and I could pull a young thing, hey, so I was torn. I'm always torn initially when I hear about these kinds of situations. I don't like it. I think I don't personally like it, but it doesn't matter what I like, especially, given that I have a niece, and thinking about my niece and thinking about the daughter that I do hope to have one day, the father that I do hope to aspire to be one day, and some of the young students that I've grown to have a great love for, and being around them and seeing them grow, the young ladies that I've been around in my life, and I've had the been fortunate enough to be around and see them kind of grow and see them develop and all that kind of stuff. It does make me a little bit, uneasy thinking about them growing up and some older dude coming at them and all that kind of shit. It does. I will be 100% honest with you. But hey, again, that's not as important as what I'm getting ready to talk to you today about, because the reason it's so heartbreaking is because what we saw in that interview was very, very revealing. All right, what we saw in that interview was very revealing. And the thing that made its way around the internet was the fact that Bill Belichick is, again, 71 years, accomplished as an individual as you could possibly be, in the football world, especially in the football world, as accomplished as somebody as he is, head coach of the University of North Carolina Tar Heels, has won the most Super Bowls of any coach. I mean, just absolutely one of the godfathers, one of the football gods, one of the people that paved the way, one of the people that actually has made a dynasty, created things for people like me, to create open doors for people like me to run through. And the fact that he's from Maryland too makes it even more heartbreaking, okay? So what happened? Here's what happened. He's given an interview, and the CBS reporter points to a part of the book that, he mentions the girlfriend or whatever, and the reporter asks, a lot has been made about the relationship with you and her, yada, yada, yada. And as the reporter asks him, so how did you guys meet? All right, this is what happened. The reporter asks him, how did you guys meet? And before Bill Belichick even answers, the 24-year-old girl is in the background telling him he's not answering that. We're not talking about that. As if, I'm like, whoa. Like, listen to me. The reason it drives me crazy is to know that our leader, one of the leaders in this game, could let his 24-year-old woman tell him what the fuck he's allowed to talk about when he's not allowed to talk about. Like, first of all, they interviewing me. They're not interviewing you. You're the one who wrote the books. You're the one who made things happen. You're the one that created this. And you're going to let her tell you what you can and can't talk about? I was embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. Again, I had mixed feelings initially. Again, not that I like it or love it, whatever it is. It is what it is. That's their life. But when you see bullshit like this and the way it reflects on us as people who are football aficionados, the people that grew up in this game, the people that love the game of football and look at Bill Belichick as someone as we kind of revere him in terms of what he's accomplished and what he's been able to do in this game, especially being from the DMV. And you gonna let this woman tell you what you can and can't talk about when you have built this shit? That was the part that was the most heartbreaking part of this entire situation. And then on top of that, when you think about when you think about when you think about the situation in totality, I listened to several former Patriots. You know, some of them have been on several podcasts and they have their own stuff or whatever, and they've kind of addressed the situation. When you listen to the way they talk about it in terms of how those championships kind of don't feel as great when you have your leader, when you see your leader going down a path like this. And it's not that we're coming at Bill Belichick as if we're experts on relationship. Nobody is, right? Nobody can tell you. But what does hurt is the fact that we see somebody who will be seen as a leader, you know, kind of get to this point where you're in this life crisis, you're at your 70s and you should be out there enjoying life and doing what you want to do, which is fair. Again, if you want to bang some 24-year-old girl and you can do it, hey, do your thing. But it should not be her dictating to you and telling you what you're allowed to, what you can and can't talk about when you wrote the damn book and when you created your own stories and when you're the one who actually is the one selling the book, all right? So that's what it is, and it translates really well when it comes to people that you care about, all right? That the main thing about talking about this and main reason that I wanted to address this is because when you actually care about someone, this is the key. When you care about someone enough, care about someone or something. Again, I care about the game enough to address this situation because of the way it reflects poorly and how it hurts the game. One of the titans, one of the leaders, one of the godfathers, one of the football gods is out here running around with this bullshit, and it was an embarrassment to everyone who loves the game just as much as he does. And that's what you have to understand. It's about living your life in a principled manner and where you love something so much where you can't stay quiet about it, all right? All that being said, again, I got a lot going on. There's a lot of stuff going on in the media this week that I'm going to have to address when it comes to this kind of shit. So all that being said, main website to check out to dive deeper into all the work I'm doing, it's makeyourmove.com. That's MakeYamove.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. As one, Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.